I gotta hit a button. All right, guys, divine and rich rising, peace to all you guys and goddesses and all you galactic beings. We talked about that in our last segment, right, sis? So I'm here with my big sis, Keish. We just gonna be here talking, and basically our conversation today, we were really talking about building our community and how do we want to build our community? How do we break the programming so that we can build our community? By the way, guys, if you did not catch us live on Saturday, we will be live again this Saturday. Come join us. Come give us some topics to talk about and let's just mix and mingle and just come together with our live. So to start off, I really do want to start off about the community thing, sis. We talked
Okay.
about building the community. I want to express to the audience that I had had a dream. And I want to share this dream because I'm divinely guided to share it. In this dream, I saw me with like-minded individuals, and we were coming together, and we had our own set of land. And in this land, we build our own community. We had our own financial system. We had our own school system. We had our own food source. Like we were doing stuff from meditating together to arts and crafts. It was a lot of things that we were doing together as a community, as a whole. If you didn't know how to do something, there was someone there to teach you. If you want to learn how to plant food and flowers, there was somebody there who knew how to do that. And we had everybody in their respective areas doing their thing, some cross training and stuff like that. But the community that I saw, the togetherness that I saw, we built our own, well, I would say military structure too, for like self defense and everything. So we had samurai swords and nunchucks. Like we were doing the damn thing in the dream, and it got me so inspired to actually do that because I'm actually down for that. I know you were saying you was down for that too, because we was talking about that too. That's something I'm actually down for real life. So I want that to happen for real.
So this is something that I've seems like it's been a back part of my life for the longest time when I started asking myself, what do I want out of life? Community. Um, the community structure that we have right now is broken.
Like, yeah,
It's broken.
yeah,
It's full of judgment. It's full of you're not doing what I want. It's dominance, it's power, it's overregulated, it's fear based, it's control, it's power, it's dominance, it's everything.
yeah.
And I realized that, and so excuse me if you're not in the colored, and I use that word loosely, so don't get upset, or in the melanated, if that's better, communities. For the simple fact is that we do have color to our skins and it doesn't change.
Yeah.
And yes, the word colored had became negative,
Yep.
but so was the N word, but we use it. You see what I'm saying? So when I say color, I mean it because we have a beautiful ambiance to our skin complexion and it's melanated, but we also have to remember that there are some people who are not so melanated that still have that color ambiance to them. So before y'all try to come from a neck, because you can, and I will encourage it. Come,
Please do.
say what you have to say, but be ready for my response, please. Be ready for that. But for if you're not part of our community, sit and listen, learn. Okay. But for our melanated communities, we as African Americans, and I use that word very strongly. I'm not a Black American. My skin is not black, it's brown. My ancestors came from Africa or from an African descent. Is that's very prominent. I mean, no, I'm not the darkest of dark, but I'm not the lightest of light either.
Yeah.
And because of that, I do flex the fact that my ancestors came from Africa. And just because I'm too many generations in here in the United States does not mean that I have to solidify myself to the American way. And you'll understand that in one of our future videos. But at this point, we are broken. And this is something that most of us don't want to hear. We are broken. And we need to build our communities back up and build them strong. because we are not who we are supposed to be. We are the product of who somebody wanted us to be. And in our communities, we need to learn to go back and nurture our children. This community is not materialistic. So if you're of the, I need my nails done, I need this, okay, yeah, you will be able to flex creativity in those ways.
Yeah.
But the necessity of breaking a nail versus planting some seeds and getting our fingernails dirty, there's a difference. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? There's a big difference.
Yeah.
We are not material people in this community. In this community, we're about wisdom and knowledge
Yeah. And we ain't afraid to get
and
our nails dirty.
sustainability.
Yes.
Because if it's one thing our ancestors did teach us through slavery, through our hard rifts in life, is that we are very resilient. And being resilient allows us to be able to do what? Any and everything that we need. And let the material people be material, because what we're not realizing is that the community, our broken communities now fund all the shenanigans that y'all are watching on the news. It's funding all the shenanigans that you even see on TV. Our own people are using us to make money off of us. And
Yeah.
y'all can't see that?
Yeah. They don't want to talk about that because, we don't want to talk about, but it has to be talked about. It has to be. It's part of the problem as well.
Well, and that's because it's done in to me, it's done in a side eye type
It
situation.
is, sis.
If
It
you're going to
is.
use us to make money off of us, at least say, hey, look, I'm telling you, I'm doing this because I want to get paid. I'm going to give you a portion of this money, but this is going to get me paid. Stop
Right.
trying to make it seem like you're helping us, because you're not. Yeah, President Obama looked good on the stand for Black people, but was that a breadcrumb? Was it that, hey girl, I'm eating a sandwich, but I don't have no more bread. I'm gonna just slide you this plate and you can eat the breadcrumbs off of it. Was it that? Because for real,
Mm-hmm.
if we look at it with this eye,
There
it
you go.
sits right here
And not
versus these two eyes and the different illusions that are given to us. We wanted them to show us somebody Black in a place that we'd never seen it, because we needed to see it. Why? Envision it in your head. It can happen, but the intention for why it happened is the reason why we're sitting here looking at each other. Well, we shouldn't have this idiot right here. No, they all tapping and dancing on the stage to do exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, playing pokers together. It's all a show, baby. It's all a show. Yeah, you got your Black president, but what did he do for the community?
He did exactly what every other president did. Nothing and everything at the same time. And I say that because the president is just the face for the country. He's not running anything. You got the Senate and the House of Representatives. And then you got the money that trickles down from the top families that we as melanated community, we fund, because we are the largest spenders in this country. We buy any and everything we see on TV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Look at it like this.
Mhm.
TVs came out. For the longest time, some of us couldn't have TVs. Maybe we had one TV. We was happy to get that.
Yeah.
Then we got a little bit more money, and now we got 7, 8 TVs. What you doing with all them TVs?
You don't need all them TVs, especially not in your house.
They not make you smart? Oh.
I bet you they have more TVs than books, huh, sis?
Now that's a shame, because see, when I was coming up, my mom always told me that if you wanted to keep something from the Black man, you put it in the pages of the book.
Yeah. And that's true. I've heard that in other books, read that in other books. Don't quote me which book on it because I don't know. I have many books, but it's in there. It's definitely in there. Other people have said that same thing.
That scares me because knowledge.
It's power.
Okay, so let's break it down like this, right? I hated to read when I was younger. It just, for some reason, it was like, why? You
Yeah.
got you got letters in front of letters. This one's silent. This one makes noise. This one
Yeah.
makes this one make noise. You see what I'm saying? Why? But
Yeah.
once you start doing it, I don't care if it's one word at a time every minute. Okay? I don't care. The more words you read, the more understanding you grasp, the more you allow your mind to expand and enlighten, the better your, I'm not saying your dialect. Who cares about dialect? Speak
Yeah.
the dialect that you were raised to speak. If you Southern, speak that with the best dialect that you can. Give that Southern drawl some sprinkle on it. You see what I'm saying? Use it. Don't let somebody tell you because you have a Southern dialect, oh, you're not educated. Why not? Why not? Europeans come over here with these strong accents and we think, oh, they're educated. We looking at them like they the best thing since sliced bread.
Mm.
Stop it.
It's part of the
Stop it.
division process. Part of the division
I'm
process.
trying not to talk about all the other stuff
I
we
know,
have been
sis. I
going
can see
into.
it on
It's
your face.
hard.
I can
It's
see it
hard.
on
Y'all,
your
okay,
face.
so what y'all don't know is that we didn't stumble upon some information. We reopened up a door. Okay. And this door, I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to give them some understanding to get them ready for some of our future stuff. This door opened up an understanding to the melanated communities.
Yeah.
You'll understand why some people have to leave the country. They shouldn't have to leave. Okay. They will understand if they watch this why they're looking at our communities to save them at this point where our hands are tied too. We don't know what to do. And they're looking at us because we've been here for so long that we should be able to move mountains for them because they're the newcomers coming in. We can't. We don't know how.
We don't even
Okay.
remember ourselves, so we have to remember
No,
who we are.
there's a lot of stuff that we've uncovered
Yeah.
that has been out there. And because we're not reading and we want somebody else to teach our kids information, we're not getting this information trickling down. Okay. We know slavery happened, but that's all we know. And then the bits and pieces that are given to us from here and here and here and here. The celebration of June 19th, should it happen? We'll have a conversation about that. But this information that we have uncovered again, re-uncovered again, is information that our people need to know,
Yeah.
not to be mad. So
Not
this
yeah.
is not information that we came upon that you need to be mad about. What we
We're not
need to
trying
do
to
is sit
start
down.
no war. We're
No,
not
we're
trying
not.
to do that.
But I mean, if you really sit, okay, look at your TikToks, your YouTubes, and I don't know what side of these things you're on. I'm on a very spiritual side, so every time I go onto these pages, it's a lot of positive messages coming up. So I
Yeah.
feel like if I feed myself positivity and something like this sits in my lap, it's not heavy. It's overbearing. And we would want to be mad about this information. But if we build a community, and you understand when we say build a community, we build a community of wisdom and knowledge, understanding,
Togetherness.
positive understanding, togetherness. We clean our communities back up. There's no reason why we should be living in the projects and they smell like pee in the hallways or it's filthy and it's dirty. We don't have to live that way. But what we need to understand is why does it look that way?
Yeah. Why did we
Okay, why?
that? Yeah. We can
Yes,
clean
why
that
do
up
we
ourselves.
have
Yeah.
why do we have these areas that look
Random.
run down?
We said at the same time. Yeah. We don't have to live like that. We are responsible for our own environment so we can come together as a community and rebuild our community. Even if it's just in the projects, just start there and build it up.
Yeah.
Build it
We
up.
used to carry ourselves with dignity and respect, and now we carry ourselves like we've got, yeah, everything on display. We used to we were put in a place where we couldn't wear kinky hair in the workplace, and now you can find kinky hair by I hope it's black owned because the woman whose face is all over what I buy is black, but if it's not, then it's close enough to black hair. You see what I'm saying? Because it look like mine. But anyways, we're so used to wearing that straight, curly, silky stuff. Our hair don't grow like that. It never did. But if you understood why it doesn't grow that way, you would love it even more.
You
It
would?
does take time to work with our hair, but we can do everything with our hair.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can't do with our hair. We need to start learning in our communities to embrace the sun. Stop running from it. Get black.
Come on, baby. Come
Get
on.
black. Why? Why do we want to get black? Why do we want the sun?
The
Why
sun.
do we want the sun to darken our complexion? Because that's who we are.
That's where we get our downloads. That's where we get our vitamin C. That's the sun kissing our
That's where
face.
we get our vitamin D absorption. 15
Yeah.
minutes on our arms and our hands is how we build our vitamin D. It's our strength.
Mm.
It's how we get rid of these illnesses that have been put upon us that our ancestors did not have.
Purifying. Purifying.
See what I'm
Purifying.
saying? We run from the sun because we were taught to run from the sun from sun runners.
Yeah.
We're the opposite of a vampire. Vampires can't utilize the sun. We actually absorb it and use it.
Y'all know
Why?
the saying, you
Go
know
ahead.
the saying, sis, where they say black attracts heat? And
Yes, it
that
absorbs it.
it absorbs it. So that speaks very much volume when it comes
Yes.
to our melanated skin, our
Think
hair.
about where our ancestors lived at. Africa is a place where the sun seems like it's always shining.
Our hair is connected to nature.
It's always shining. We thought that to make our hair silky meant to put oil in our hair. Who said that? Who said that? Why is most of the women in the Gen X generation have alopecia from burning up our scalps?
Yeah.
And some of them say, well, I don't. Of course you don't. But some of us do. And it's sad. I mean, it's not sad because I always said God took my hair because he know I could give myself more hair, so it don't matter.
That shows also in the movie They Cloned Tyrone when they were old girl had a wig on. And I don't know if you remember the scene. I don't want to tell the movie if you ain't seen it, but they were like washing her hair with perms and stuff, but she actually had a wig on. So they're telling you that the perms are not good for your hair. Anything that's chemical doesn't belong in your hair. I think Chris Rock also did a video called, not a video, but a movie called Good Hair, where they're talking about perms and chemicals and stuff. All of this stuff that we're putting in our hair, we're killing.
By the time he did that daggum show, we were already knee deep in relaxer.
Yeah,
The females did not want kinky edges. Oh, I just got a perm 2 weeks ago, but I got to get another perm now because I don't want kinky edges. I don't want the new growth underneath. I remember all of that. I
yeah.
grew up during that time frame. I grew up during the Jerry curl time frame, man.
Y'all see this
Um,
back here? This is my kindergarten self. Okay, this is me kindergarten. So yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about. My mom swear up and down I wanted this Jerry curl, but I don't remember that, sis.
well, yeah, my kids didn't. So, uh, like I said, me and your mother are in the same generation, but I'll tell you just like this. When my mom put a texturizer on my kids' hair, I freaked out.
As you should.
I
As,
freaked all the way out
as you
because I don't see a problem with pressing and curling. Okay.
should.
If you do it right, you can have a press and curl, but we're so scared of our natural texture hair because we've not had to deal with it and oh, it's so complicated to deal with. Then wear it all over your head, but it's really not if you take the time to educate yourself on what our hair really needs. It doesn't need oil, it does need moisture.
And that's a
A
part
little
of
bit of water.
it
Go
too.
ahead.
Who told y'all that our hair was tough to take care of? That's part of the programming too, I feel. I mean,
So
yeah. Cause
when
I'll
I look,
tell you this is once I stopped, I got older though. I got older, like maybe like high school, I was able to take care of my hair myself. But once I started like stop using those perms and stuff and just going completely natural, my hair started to grow. When I locked my hair up, it started to grow even more. So I was like putting all those chemicals and doing this all what everybody else society
So,
says best. That's not best for me.
so dreadlocks were not something that the generation before mine were
Yeah.
privy to.
Yeah.
I put dreads in my oldest daughter's hair when I started I started her locks when she was about
She
two
still
or three.
has them. She still has them, sis.
No.
Oh,
So uh the locks during that time frame for them before us, it was it wasn't well received with all of the community.
yeah.
Okay. So when I did it for my kids' hair, my parents looked at it as it was a disgrace.
I never understood that. Oh,
Okay. I didn't either. I didn't understand it because it was more or less like,
it's part of your
as long as they're taking care, well, they're not, people don't take care of them and this and that and other and blah, blah, blah. But don't worry about other people.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Had chemicals in the hair. I had already started to see what it had done to the women in my family. It's not good for us. Okay, so um I ended up having to cut hers out of her hair. One, I think I did it because I got the backlash that I got from my parents. Two, she had seizures, so the cream stuff that they had to put in her hair was not going to keep them well kempt at the time. So it wasn't viable, but it was not something that was socially acceptable amongst my family. Okay. So we took them out. She has a beautiful texture of hair, but she's not a hair person, and locks actually fit her. But so later on, I did end up putting it in their hair. But when I say that chemicals was what we were taught, and then you hear protective hairstyles.
Yeah.
What are you wearing a wig to protect your hair from? Chemicals? Are you putting a wig on your head to protect your hair from the sun? Because our hair eats up the sun. If we
Mhm.
stop putting all these oils in our hair that aren't helping our hair, the sun won't fry our hair. We're protecting our hair. Or are you covering up your hair because you want your natural hair, but you still want that silky long? We need to go back and look at some of the hairstyles the braids were stuff that Africans wore in their hair. There's also beautiful updos that we can wear in our hair. And these styles do not take anything, but if you don't stimulate the scalp, the hair won't grow anyway. So if you keep throwing a wig on it and you think that the hair is going to keep growing and it's going to be beautiful and luscious, when do you decide to show that hair if you're always protecting it?
They're not. Have you
Uh,
seen some of
I had to get that out there.
yeah.
When I talk about our community, I talk about there's a lot that we don't know. There's a lot about us that we frown our noses, we turn our noses up. We don't even have noses that really turn up like that. Our
Yeah.
noses are wide, they're not pointed. Our parents used to try to make our nose pointed. Why? Because it was socially acceptable.
That
Why?
when they
Because
will pinch the nose? Sis, I ain't ever understood that until now.
well, that's because you read that thing that I told you to read.
Yeah. Yeah. I've tried my best not to spill too much because I
I
know
know, I know.
I'm late.
This one is this. So I don't think you all will understand how hard this little thing is right here because we have something that we want to blow out the water, but we need to do it in a very meticulous manner, and we have to find that out together. We'll do that, and then we'll air one. But our community is broken,
It is. We lack
and now
love.
now is the best time for us to start coming into our community and embracing ourselves. It's going to take time.
It is. It
There's
is.
a lot of damage done.
So we talked about how to break the programming. So breaking the programming, I also feel it starts with finding that self-love. Because when I feel like we go wearing wigs, we putting all this chemical in our head, we running from the sun, we're running from who we truly are, we're running from our true identity, our self-love. And I do feel a lot of our people in our community lack self-love.
No, we do lack self-love. So I'm no was wrong. But I'm also to caveat off of that, what we're missing is validation. We feel like we need to be validated by
Other people,
those that have what we don't have.
yeah. Validate
So
yourself.
yeah,
Validate.
goodness.
Once you find that self-love within you, you validate yourself.
Nobody has the right to validate you. First of all, let's talk about this. If you're a Christian-based person, you should have already been validated, right? Didn't God or Jesus die on the cross for your sins? Isn't that validation enough? Or does he need to spill blood, skin, and bones? You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to make this make sense.
Getting greedy now.
So why are we looking at other people to validate who we are? Why do we need to wear BB? Oh, they don't exist no more, do they? Why do we need to wear these big name products, putting money into other people's pockets, and then when they start making cuts on the TV, y'all start freaking out, melting down because I can't feed my kids. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You definitely can. If you got a cell phone and you pay that bill every month, then you can feed your kids. Why I need a cell phone? It's a must have. No, it's not a must have because I grew up in a time where there were no cell phones. Well, we can't go back to that. You should. Okay. If you can pay your cell phone on time every month and you can't feed your kids, I find that to be a problem. Okay. Now, I look at it like this. If you put food on the table, clothes on your kids' back, and if clothes get hard, then go to Walmart, buy a sewing machine and teach yourself to make some clothes. Well, my kids, they need to. No, your kids don't need to keep up with Jones's, sweetheart. Your kids need to put on some clothes and go to school. But do they?
That's it.
Because what are you teaching your kids when they come home? Nothing. Are you hugging and loving on them? Probably not. Have you crawled up in the bed somewhere? Are you trying to get you some me time? Because, oh my gosh, I got to get out of this job. These people are driving me crazy. And no, sweetie. See, this is why we need community because we have went back into a legalized form of slavery.
Right there. There you
Well, how so? Well, because it never left. It never left.
go. It never
It
stopped.
never left.
It just used it a different way to modernize it
There you
for
go.
you not to catch
There you
on
go.
to.
While
It's
all of y'all are celebrating June 19th, let's stop and let's think. Seriously, let's stop and think. At June 19th, when the slaves were free, what did they do after that?
went back to work for their slave owners.
You see what I'm saying? If they found out at night that they was free, they went to sleep that night, woke up the next day, where was their mind frame? Wasn't on being free because what was being free? 30 generations that went through actual hard slavery. If that's 300 years, that's 10 generations in 1 century. You see what I'm saying? And that's 30 years, no, 300 years. Yes, that's 30 generations of programming.
Yep.
Most of them didn't know what freedom was. Most of them
Yep.
have been born into slavery. So think about it like this. If you're born into slavery
Not gonna know what to do. They forgot
and one day you wake up and you're free,
what I'm supposed to do. That's
what
what.
does free mean?
What is that?
What
What?
what is free?
It's like
What is free?
master. What I'm supposed to do next? That's that's it. Cause that's all they ever known. They
All
no
they
longer.
knew.
Yeah. The
The
program.
houses they lived in, they weren't theirs. They had houses because they worked. Okay. They had food because they worked. So they had whatever clothes they had. Well, it wasn't a big mansion. No, it wasn't a big mansion. But they had a roof over their head. They had food on their back. They had clothes on their back. They had food in their mouths, and they had just enough to survive. How many of y'all have just enough to survive? Just enough to survive. Maybe a little bit over that, but not enough. And you're still looking at that big white house and y'all know which one I'm talking about, for guidance, for understanding. Drive this shit so we could just sit here. And then they give you, so I'm banking that our communities have the most kids. So they give us the tax, the child tax, okay? You take that money and what do you do with it?
Mm.
If you're not putting it in a savings account somewhere, then you're taking some trip off of it, but you can't feed your kids in the summertime. You see what I'm saying? You done bought the new shoes, the new clothes, the new wigs, the new nails, the new makeup, the new this, the new that, the new the other, because I gotta have, I gotta have, I gotta have, I gotta have, I gotta have. Because you live in lack.
And when
So
you
because
get
you live in lack, huh?
it, once they get this, I gotta have, and you like, okay, I got it. What's next?
Yeah, because you live in lack. So if you live in a mind of I don't have enough, and you look around your house, you have more than enough, but you don't know what to do with it. Your neighbor next door, because today you got your money and the new Jays is out, and tomorrow, next week they get their money and the new Jays is out. They go get the new news. And you sitting back with your lip poked out because you don't have the money to go get the new news. So as soon as you get a little bit of money, you go get the new news. But you got kids. Oh, now my kids need the new news. What your kids walking around in $200 shoes for when their grades don't even look like they should be wearing $200 shoes? And you don't even look like you should be buying $200 shoes. You should be putting that $200 in their account.
That's that saying where they say kids are expensive. No, they're not.
They only as expensive as you make them.
Exactly.
Well, they gonna get made fun of. Well, you know what? Then put them in a school so that they can wear uniforms, and then they can wear that. All of them look the same. Well, I don't want my kids wearing no uniform. Slow down, honey. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. We have to police our communities up.
We do.
It's time. It's time for us to stop whining and come up with a solution. It's time for us to stop turning the other cheek because we don't need to. We don't need to enforce violence either. What we need to do is we need to instill understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in our kids. It's not about wearing the hoodie and walking around at what the heck is a child doing out at 9:30 at night in a black hoodie? Or with a hoodie on, period. We all came home when the lights turned on. You want to know why these things are happening? It's because we are not in our homes providing wisdom and knowledge to our kids. We're giving them material items and we're calling that love. We give them cell phones and we say, here, take the cell phone and preoccupy yourself because I don't have time to deal with you right now. Why? Why don't you have time to deal with your baby? Because it was a uh-oh? Well, you shouldn't have been uh-ohing out there.
I love it.
And if you got one uh-oh, you shouldn't have two. And if you have two and three other uh-ohs because, oh my God, I was looking for love, slow down.
You need
Stop.
love within
Your
self
children are
first.
not your problem.
No.
You are the problem.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not the children, it's you. Well, my parents didn't know. But once you hit 26 years old, stop blaming your parents and start blaming yourself.
That right there.
Okay, I give you to 25. At 26, it's no longer your parents' fault. It's all on you.
Guys, I was in basic training at 25 on my 25th solar return. I felt that I was too grown to be living and mooching off my mama. So, hey, if I can do it, you can do it too. Not saying for you to enlist, but saying just having that accountability, looking at self. It
So
starts with
the community we're talking about is a community of people who are going to tell you the truth, not people who are going to lie to you. Okay? And yes, this is one that is a little bit hard because everybody thinks their best friend is supposed to tell them what they want to hear. That's not your best friend.
I was just going to say that your best friend should be very okay with telling you what you don't want to hear, what you
And
need.
allow you to get mad.
Yeah. You don't want no best friend then.
I remember the first time I got my wake up call from a lady that I was friends with,
Yeah.
and she had called me for some advice. And this is way before my spiritual understanding, okay? She called me for some advice, and as she was giving me the advice, I stopped her because I'm a very air sign, so I will cut you off because whatever's spinning around in my head needs to be said, okay? And it's not me trying to be rude. It's
Are you good?
Nati? Oh,
Sis, you all right?
yeah, I was trying to figure out if it was just me in the house or me, her, and something else.
Oh, okay. I mean, you might be hearing
It's
rain.
okay.
I
I
don't know.
got caught off guard. I was like, wait, I went outside. I don't remember seeing. I was not paying attention. Anyways, I'm sorry about that.
It's fine.
Um, I remember her saying to me, she was asking me some relationship advice, and at this point in my life, I had already had to come to some conclusions with relationships in my life. And I was listening to her, and all I heard was me, 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 me. And so I told her, I said, sweetheart, I said, all I hear you speak about in this relationship is you. You. It's a me, 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 me. And I said, in a relationship like that, I don't see it working. At this point, like I said, I didn't know the only thing I knew about myself is that we was human. Okay. So I was on that human understanding as everybody else. And she snapped at me. And she was like, I thought you was my friend. Why would you, say this, blah, blah, blah. And she's like turning it on me. And I said, hold on. I said, I'm the friend that don't have a man. So why are you calling me?
Wow, I had a similar experience with a friend, but go
I
ahead.
said, but if I don't tell you this, I said, everybody wants their best friends to lie to them. I could lie to you and tell you that it's that person, that it's the man, and he's messing up and he's doing this. But me lying to you ain't gonna help you keep that man because I'm lying to you. So you're gonna see it that way and you're not gonna know how to fix this situation.
Yeah, I had a similar experiences. A little different, but similar.
I mean, but I think a lot of us who are tried. So it try to be real. Okay. Just try to give your friend, instead of telling them what you think they want to hear, you see they're in a relationship and the guy is trying his hardest and she's just, it's not this, it's not that, it's not that. Maybe you need to figure out who you are before you be in this relationship because broken women cause broken men in relationships and broken men cause broken women in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We jump into relationships looking for the very thing we should be looking for in ourselves. So that when somebody comes to you and breaks you down and says, hey, maybe you shouldn't have done this, or maybe we get mad because they're policing us up. Well, who are you to tell me, blah, 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 da, da, da. Well, if I don't come behind you and police you up, who else is going to do it? If you all say that you want to wear a crown that's straight, somebody's got to tell you when it's crooked, unless you always walking around with a mirror.
Yeah, because I am not that friend that finna have you out there with a crooked crown. I'm going to
Oh,
tell.
you wait. You can't be seen with me in your. I look. I don't even wear a crown. Okay, I will tell y'all in a heartbeat. This flesh is heavy
Yeah,
and it's got a lot of burdens. And anything that's earthly is not really for me. There are some things that I will pick up on, and I will say, okay, I can gladly understand this. But since I've gotten on this spiritual path, we don't realize the cross is not actually a cross. It's the flesh. It's the flesh.
and I'm.
And to don this flesh
Mhm.
is to don a suit so heavy that you got to be able to hold it up. Why do you think we shrink the older we get? Because we don't build up the muscle in the body to keep this suit is heavy and it carries a lot of burdens. And a lot of those burdens we wake up with and we carry them out into the world and we smother the world with them. One, because as a melanated community, we don't know who we are.
Yeah, and we creating that ripple effect.
When you say you're Black American, you're saying that you have bought into everything that America has sold you.
Come on now.
Okay. It sold you a lot of lies. Anytime the Statue of Liberty stands up there with the light in one hand, what's that light symbolize? It's supposed to symbolize immigration to come into this country. She's got a tablet in her hand that's supposed to symbolize the names that were written down on there, that when they came from their country, we kept record of that. But now that's the illusion, because she still got shackles on her feet.
Mm-hmm.
And that tablet was to cover up the shackles she had on her hands. So is that an illusion? Because we say immigration is supposed to come from one area into another area. They come here to have to live the American dream. But what's the American dream?
Oop, that was the question I posed yesterday. We was talking about. I said, sis,
Yes.
I wonder what was this American dream?
And what did I tell you it was?
The white picket fence, the husband and wife, the kids with the dog and the green grass.
Everybody dressed right dress.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
everybody dressed right dress.
Yes.
Who does that fit?
Not us.
So let's dive deeper then. When was that ever the American dream? Like from the beginning, when was that ever the American dream? Maybe when they first ran from their country, came to this country, said that this country was theirs, but didn't even manage to. We're not paying the people that's here. We just gonna go through a pillage and ransack and disease up, and like diseases. When did, okay, what are original African diseases?
Mm. I see what you're doing here. Going deep, deep.
What
Explain.
are original diseases?
Dis-ease to the body.
Okay. What are the original, what did Black people have? So they put lupus on us. We need to find out if there is Africans that actually carry lupus. What about diabetes?
Mm.
The Black community or the African American community calls it sugar.
And what's that? Sickle cell too. They say sickle cell too, sis.
Sickle cell. Sickle cell runs actually is something that has been in my family, that they say runs in the family. Sickle cell. Sickle cell is when the cells, when some of, I believe it's the red blood cells are sickle formed. Okay. That goes back into what we were reading. These are mutations in the body, and you all will understand these mutations once we get deeper into our next videos, because we found a lot.
Yes, we did.
And I'm ready for our community to stop complaining about the breadcrumbs. If we keep asking for handouts, all we're going to get is breadcrumbs. Think about it. If somebody comes knocking at your door and they ask you for a cup of sugar, you'll give them a cup of sugar. Okay, today. Now, tomorrow they knock on your door again and they ask for a cup of sugar. You can give them a cup of sugar. After a while, you're going to get tired of giving them a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
Because when are you going to get your own sugar? Okay. Over the centuries, we were enslaved. Then we didn't know how to be what we were, so we were in limbo. And during that time frame, we started getting breadcrumbs. Okay. We get the breadcrumbs. They give us the breadcrumbs, and I'm saying they because I'm using this as society. I'm not going to put a color on the entity. I'm going to say society, because it's Black, white, Hispanic, Italian, Jewish. It's everybody is up there. Okay. Okay. So when I say this, I'm talking about society in itself. Every time you put your hand out, they're gonna put breadcrumbs there. Why? Because we're the largest spenders in the country. We fuel their pockets. Okay. So if we say we want to see a black president today, then they're gonna put one up there, but they already had one ready to be groomed.
Yep. Yep. Didn't tell you. Let me not go too deep. We're gonna wait on that one.
Okay. They already had one to be groomed, and they put them up there. Okay. And from that point, we were
Yeah.
all for it.
Same
All
thing
for it.
with the recent elections with Kamala Harris.
Oh man.
Same thing. When I was employed, just seeing how people was reacting to seeing a black female president and how everybody was acting, the dynamics and everything. I was like, this is what y'all mind is on right now, just her skin color. That's it.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one because
It's a lot. I know. It's a lot. It's a lot. I could have said more, but I reeled it back.
we 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 as a society need to go into our communities and we need to police ourselves up. It's time for us to take accountability for what we allow to happen. Okay? And I say that like I said at 26, you can no longer accuse or hold your parents accountable for the things that aren't going your way. Okay.
Mm.
If I extend that, it's up to 30. So if you need to rant rave about your parents, you're all your 20s. By the time you're 30, if it don't mean that you've made the decisions in your life from this point forward, that it's on you. The word can't is always going to be the noose that you put around your neck. You're doing that on your own. You cut yourself off when you say that you can't do something. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do for people around you, but when you're speaking about self, you should never use can't or words that will pin you down and keep you from being able to do things. Society does have ways of doing things, but for every law that has been written and been rewritten, there's a loophole. So there's always a way for you to be able to do the things that you need. Wisdom and knowledge. Turn the TVs off. Watch our podcast because we're gonna put out information that maybe people are putting out I just haven't come across yet. So I don't like to say I'm the first to do
Yeah.
anything, but what I will say is that I have accessed information that I haven't seen put out there in the way that I'm going to put it out there. So I'm not teaching to turn the other cheek, but I'm not teaching violence either. I want us to come up with a solution to be able to fix the things that have been broken in our lives. We don't have to settle for what somebody else wants to give us. You don't have to settle for breadcrumbs, but you have to stop trying to have what other people's have if it's not for you.
Ooh, why did the haves and haves not hit my noggin?
Because we don't understand that we can be comfortable at a level of surviving, but it doesn't have to just be survival.
Mm-hmm. Your riches is within you. When you start growing your own food and you see that you don't have to go to the grocery store, that's an abundance. That's part of wealth. When you see that you have a library, because like 3 years ago, I told myself I'm going to build myself a library. I have books upon books with nothing but knowledge in it. It is my responsibility to read those books to get that knowledge. I have the wealth of knowledge now. You see what we're getting at here? When you look at a different perspective of things, you have riches, you have wealth. You're just using that money, giving that money power.
Well, the
Give
money, first of all, the money has a lot of sigils and it has a lot of ancestors on it that don't look like us. And I don't want them to look like us.
Yeah,
Why? Because we don't need it to look like us.
no.
We don't need societal money to look like us.
No,
I think I would check out if we had money that had us on it, for the simple fact is that we don't need that.
we
I,
didn't.
I think that would be a disruption to who we are. We've had enough of that. We've had enough dog and pony shows. If you haven't realized that that's what they give us, the breadcrumbs, we're okay with it. There's a dog and pony show, and then we go back to doing it all over again.
Yeah, we're just playing a real life version of Monopoly, guys.
That, or we're still stuck in something that started
Century.
millennia ago.
Yeah,
Okay, we just can't see it because it looks different. Like
yeah.
they say, if you don't know your history will come back to bite you. But what if we've been living our history every day and the dynamics of it has just been changing
Yeah,
to
yeah,
look different?
yeah. They dressed it up differently just so you won't.
We dressed it up differently.
Yeah,
Instead of just having milk, we decided to pour a little bit of Hennessy in it, and we don't call it milk, we call it Hennessy, but it's still milk. We're okay with breadcrumbs. Why are we okay with breadcrumbs? Why are we okay with them putting people up on TV that looks like, oh, I want to see people that look like me on TV? No, we don't. We really don't. If we're these entities, we're these high performance, high valued people that have sat on thrones and have all these superpowers and this and that and other, we don't need to be seen on TV. We need to move in silence.
yes, yes.
But we're boisterous. We need everybody to see I have. Girl, don't nobody care because when you die, it's still gonna be here. I'ma have it. How about that?
Yeah, that's it. That's why I said
What are those diamonds doing for you today?
just sitting there collecting dust. That's it. You got that because you want everybody to see how glamorous you
Or
look
you
from
wanna, or
the
you
outside.
wanna, or you wanna boast about it? Girl, my man got me this. Girl, my man got me that. Girl, my man, what you do for yourself today?
Yeah, what's going on in here? Is this glamorous?
So, so this community that we're talking about is a community of waking up, understanding, accountability,
Togetherness.
and working for self. True working for self. If for 300 years we tilled the land, why don't we own the farms?
That's a good question, sis. We should.
Why don't we own the farms? Why are we not the ones that is selling populations and selling the land and this and that and other? Why are we the ones sitting back trying to figure out how to scrounge up some money to get a little piece of house? Who built those slave mansions back in the day?
Our ancestors.
Why is there food growing up out the earth that we can eat? Why don't we own the tobacco industry? Why don't we own the liquor industry? Why don't we own the crops? Why don't we own it? Because we didn't know. We didn't know. And then our religious understandings were stripped from us and poured in something different. And we ate it up. We still eating it up. You got people walking around, girl, if I don't save you from what this is that you, no, I need to save you. Because when our ancestors were brought here, there was no Christianity.
Everything
I
is.
need to save you.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you not to read that book because there's all kinds of great information in that book. But what I'm telling you is it's time for us to go back to our nappy roots.
You see, I'm there already, yeah, y'all.
It's time for us to go back to our nappy roots. It's time for us to say, what is being Black? And let us define that.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to school and saying, well, they ain't teaching Black history in school no more. They was never teaching you Black history. They
That's
was teaching
good.
you history the way they wanted you to know it.
Exactly. That is good that they're not doing that anymore because as a parent, that's where you step in and you teach. You should have been teaching, actually. But this gives you the leeway to teach your own children.
Yes, we don't need validation. We are validated. You know what? You want to know how validated we are? All we have to do on a really hot day is sit out there for a long time.
That's it. That's
Drink you some water and sweat it out. And guess what happened? No blisters,
nothing.
no red spots, maybe some tight skin. You might be 2 shades darker. You might be a little bit more enlightened. And this eye that's up here
And a
has
little
opened up.
sweaty, but it's okay. A little
A
sweat
little
never hurt
sweaty,
nobody.
a little sweaty. Now take somebody else of the variations of colors, because man, they turn red, purple, blue, green, they turn every color. Anyways, put them in the sun and let them sit out there all day. And then we'll see. We are already validated. So please, once, I don't want you to think that I'm trying to pit us against anybody else. What I'm trying to do is get you to understand nobody can validate you. You're already here, you're validated. But what we need to do is we need to clean up our communities. We need to police up our communities. Somebody that has a little bit more money than the next needs to go buy the containers. Come together, come together, come together. If you got $1 and you and your friend next door have $1, now you got $2 together, okay? You take those dollars, you go to the Dollar Tree, you get you those, man, you know what you got? You got egg crates. Get you some egg crates. Get you some egg crates, get you a little bit of soil, put that soil in there, get you some small plants, seeds. Nothing over the top, okay? Especially if you don't have a backyard. If you have a backyard, it's different. It's time for our community to start growing their own food. It's time for our community to start learning to respect each other. It's time for our community to start learning to embrace each other. It's time for our community to police ourselves up and go back to an understanding that we need to teach ourselves because we lost it long time ago.
Mhm. We
And
did.
we really need to understand who we are
Yep.
without anybody else telling us.
I know that.
Without anybody else telling us. And it's not about being angry. It's accepting that it's already happened and all we need to do is figure out how to adjust from here. It's not about being mad at anybody because we all allowed it to happen. It's not about aggression because it doesn't need to be aggressive because more negative only begets more negative and it keeps begetting negative until we can turn a cycle into positive. Okay. It's not about saying that it's a bloodline that we don't access, but we're trying to access because we feel like we need that validation. Okay. So I'm not telling you that there are any religions out there that you have to impede yourself on because there was some black people that was in that definition. If anything, our religions didn't really have big, beautiful names on them.
It was all spiritual.
Our religions are the religions that have been demified. Our religions are the religions that have been taught to us as not who we are. Point blank, period, stripped of it.
Yep.
When you see it on the movies now, it's scary, it's demonistic, it's satanic, it's all. We are not those things. We never have been.
That's that dark, divine feminine energy. But we ain't gonna go too deep on that. I just want to throw that
You're
out.
good. You're good. You're good. You have the
Dark,
floor.
that dark, divine feminine energy. I keep saying define, but it is divine. It's very divine and defined. That's the dark, divine feminine energy that some people are afraid of. Don't be afraid to tap into you. It's you. Basically, for us to break the program, in order for us to build our community, we have to tap into ourselves and we have to start with self love. We have to. I will say for quite some time when I was youngster, I was looking for love in all the wrong places because I had abandonment issues and everything. But when I started to wake up and learn, okay, so it happened to me, but it only happened because it was supposed to make me stronger. I was supposed to tap into me. I was supposed to find that divine feminine love within myself. We both masculine and feminine energies. If you don't understand, we carry both. But that is where we trying to put out here. We're not trying to start no war. We're not trying to pin nobody against each other. We just want to wake our people up and start building our community. We're gonna have to get
So
back to that.
to the other melanated communities, I want to say for everything that's going on right now, from the bottom, deepest part of my heart, I apologize because right now, we as a community, we can't help you. We don't know how.
Yeah.
We're so used to making complaints about racism that that's all we know how to do. But
Yeah.
it's time for us to step out of that shadow because that's exactly what we're in. We're in the shadow of slavery and we don't know how to get out of it. And we've been in that shadow for too long.
Very
And
long.
even where we think that we have come forward, we have, but we haven't. We have, but we haven't. We have not come out of the, like, to truly break the ball and chain of slavery is to say it happened. I acknowledge it. I understand the reasons behind it. It showed me something about myself, which is we are very resilient. We're not going anywhere. If you understand dominant and recessive genes, our gene is dominant.
Hmm.
It will take, okay, so they tried to water it down. They tried to water it down. They really did. It was try and we'll bring out we do have we do have evidence of all of this. They were trying to water it down, but it wasn't as successful as you think. If you understand that the darkest of the dark man hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and then you got somebody my complexion, somebody your complexion, you do have some lighter ones, but that melanin in our skin is dominant. We
Yeah.
look and we want blue eyes. No, sweetheart, you don't want blue eyes. You want dark eyes.
Hmm.
Because if the sun is really getting as big as they say it is, the only people who are going to survive are the ones that have strong melanin genes.
Yeah.
So what that means is that we need to be strengthening that gene and making it work instead of using sunblock. Okay, maybe Black people can get cancer. But if you know that cancer is anger in the body, we're not worried about the sun giving us cancer.
No.
Okay. If you understand that dis-ease in the body starts in the mind first, something that you're harboring, some type of negative feeling, some type of negative energy that's sitting there, yes, there are sicknesses that we can get. And maybe some of those sicknesses that's in our body is one from dilution, or two, it's from misunderstanding. Okay. And once we start to learn and understand who we are and how we're supposed to move as a people, learn, not be told, learn how to move as a person, because not all of us are supposed to move the same.
Hmm.
Not all of us are supposed to live the same life. We're not all supposed to have that picket fence. We're not all supposed to have that husband and those kids. But what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to be able to hear something that is outside of us. And
Yeah.
if we can't hear it and we are the strongest, you heard me now. We are the strongest of the human beings walking the face of the planet. There is nobody on the face of this planet that is more resilient
Yeah.
than melanated, skin complected people. So if you all are walking around and you need validation and you need somebody to help you stand up, it's time for us to carry our culture, which means we have to go find our culture.
Yeah. Help each
We
other.
have to carry our culture. We need to preserve our culture. We need to love our culture. We need to bring our community in. We need to love our community. We need to embrace it. We need to teach or reteach the things that we should have known before.
Unlearn it and then relearn what you're supposed to know.
So it's time for us to go back to community, because in the community is where we start to teach. Don't let them dangle the carrot in front of your face and you run after that dollar. We're not supposed to be chasing a dollar. That's not who we were. We were not ones to chase the dollar. We were hard workers.
Yeah.
But working for self, truly working for self, is being able to get yourself in a place of being self-sufficient, not with money, because the harder you work is not going to bring you more money. What it's going to do is it's going to make our communities fall down. It's going to make the community fall down, and it's that's where our community is broken. Our men should not be out there fighting the world by themselves. The woman is the one that should be able to embrace them and help them. We mature faster, we're stronger, we're more understood, and we are supposed to bring that to them. Every woman who's saying she's a queen, you are not a queen if you're not helping your king keep his crown straight on his head.
Yeah, sure.
If he's coming into the house after being out there working all day, he's providing for you, and you're ranting and raving about what you didn't get today, there's a problem. We're broken.
Yeah.
If our kids is running around and they got the latest shoes on, but nobody's loving and feeding them wisdom and knowledge, and all they're getting is what they're getting from school and from that community, okay, you can't expect more from your kids than what you get because you're not pouring into them. So these communities, yep, it's going to take some unlearning the things that have been programmed on us for a long time to build up what it is that we're supposed to feed. Our elders are the ones that, if you're in your mid to late 60s, 70s, 80s, you have stuff that you should have been teaching the younger generations. But instead, we sit around and we complain about this generation, and you hear it. I heard it from the generations before mine, and then, believe it or not, my brother is a millennial, okay? And I heard it coming out of his mouth. Me and him got to arguing over this in the restaurant because he wanted to say, well, we didn't, we couldn't, we this, we that, we the other. You didn't make it no better. You put a cell phone in a 13-year-old's hand. What you think they're going to do? Sit there on that daggum cell phone? We make our younger generation stronger. And if we can't make our younger generation stronger, there is no reason for us to sit back and turn our noses up and say they don't want to work. They don't want to this. They don't want to that. You didn't teach them.
Future leaders.
You as the parent didn't teach them. Well, they go to school. They supposed to be learning this. School didn't teach us much of nothing.
No.
But how to go to school, how to work, how to be programmed, and how to move in one way. We don't all move that way.
No.
Please believe, because I have family members that turn, well, why don't she have this? Why don't she have that? Why don't you mind your own business?
That's the problem right there.
Why you pointing out the flaws in my life? Have you seen the ones that's lurking in yours?
Woo!
Oh, no, you ain't paying no attention to that. We as a community have failed each other.
Yeah.
So that means that we as a community have to uplift each other.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Section 8 handouts, this, that, and other, no, sweetheart, build a community where we can feed ourselves. Build a community where we can take care of ourselves. Build a community where we can live and not have to worry about some of the other shenanigans that's going on. Because like I said before, if you're not driving your own spaceship, then you can't complain about the person that is.
Ashe, stop letting them drive your spaceship, baby. We don't let them drive our spaceship around here. You can't. You just can't.
We fuel the economy. Stop spending your money on, girl, I need this. Girl, I'm going to have this. Stop. I'm telling you, if you stop, you'll see the waves that we can make in this community. Yeah, they're going to get mad. They're going to get mad. There's a lot of stuff they're going to start cutting out. But if they cut out all the funding and we don't need it, we don't need Social Security.
We don't
need their grocery stores. We don't need their clothes. We don't need these things. Once you wake up and you understand some of the stuff we got to put out there, you'll understand why we're saying put your money in your pocket, start sliding it out the banks, because the banks ain't doing nothing but gambling off of your money.
All we need is each other to build this community family.
We do. That's it. We do. And we're going to do it one brick at a time. One, we have to enlighten you. Because if we don't, we're just bringing shenanigans into a community and it's going to fall apart. We have to enlighten you. We have to open up the mind. We have to get you on board with that understanding before we can do any of this. So what you need to do in the beginning of this is do like I said, get your egg crates, put you some dirt in there, get you some plants and start growing. Grow as much as you can in an apartment, in a house, in a backyard. And if you live in a car, then a little bit. All you have to do is get a little bit. Don't get too many. If you live in a car, maybe one or two. Depends on how many people live in that car with you. But if you can't do it, if you're homeless or you're living in a car, I say more of living in a car, but even now that's getting better. It's time for, and this isn't just for the melanated community. This is for anybody who wants to break away from what society is putting out there, because society don't care about us. They care about the money that we spend. They care about the money that they can put in their pockets. But if that's all they want is the money, give it all back to them. Give them all the money. Once you have all the money, then what can you do with it? You might be able to go into other countries, but if that money's not circulating in the country it originates from, people aren't going to want that money.
At all. At all. Like we said, all we need is each other. That is it.
That's it. We need a solution to stop complaining and to move ourselves forward. Now, don't get me wrong, there are people who want to live that materialistic life. Live it. Live it. But if I truly want to work for myself, I'm not selling stuff to nobody. I'm going to work in my community. Look, I can crochet, I can knit, I can spin yarn, I can make jewelry. There's nothing I can sew. I can do hair, I can do makeup, I can do nails. Do I need to keep going?
You don't have to, but you
With
can.
all of these things, I can teach a whole community how to do a
Yep.
little bit at a time.
You can class
We
it.
can barter amongst each other.
Yep.
I need eggs, you need sugar. Maybe we don't need sugar. Maybe we cut sugar out, but you need fruit and I need eggs. Here's some eggs. Can I have some mangoes? Thank you very much. You see what I'm saying? We allowed somebody else to drive our ship and we bought into it. We felt like if we didn't have big, beautiful cars and lavish houses and all of this stuff, that, oh, we're third world. Them people are happy.
Like crazy. Have you seen them? They are, oh my goodness. I've never seen happiness like that before.
Medicine, medicine, medicine. So pharmaceuticals gets they get their money from our money and then they put us on this medication that we got to buy once a month.
And it'd be like a ear, nose, and throat for the price too. It's just crazy.
And it just and then you go in there, you ask them, okay, so how long do I have to be on this? Oh no, you have to stay on this until we can get this regulated, but this medicine is not made to regulate me.
Oh, at all.
It's been spliced, it's been diced, it's been, where did this originate? How come we don't go in there and say, what did this originate from? And the doctor would be like,
You're not gonna.
um, you wanna know why? Because he don't know. You wanna know why? Because it's not doctors who make medicine. It's scientists that make medicine. It's doctors that sell medicine. So doctors go in this book and they say, okay, this book says, okay, if you have diabetes, these are all the symptoms. Okay. Say, say you have a symptom of you sleeping too much. Okay. Want to know why you sleeping too much? Because you're not getting enough sun. Okay. You eating up everything. Want to know why you eating up everything? Because sometimes eating too much is emotional and people eat themselves into depression. You're depressed, you want to eat. It's emotion, okay? And then it's all these other things, and then they give you this medication and they tell you to get on it. Once you get on that medication, it tells the body to stop producing insulin. Okay? Because you're already you're trying to regulate your insulin, right? So when I went to, so I have a background in aesthetics and I have a background, what do I not have a background in? I have a background in aesthetics, which is dealing with the skin. And you start to learn that when you put things on the skin, too much oils will send signals to the brain that says slow down oil production on the skin because you've already had too much, and our body is regulated by our brain. Okay, so if you inject yourself with insulin and you don't need it, Now the brain is going to send signals to the body and tell the body to stop sustaining insulin. You're getting too much of it. So no longer are you going to be producing the insulin that your body has to go through. Now this is the kicker. Who's to say your body needs that much insulin?
Mhm.
Who's to say that the insulin level that you walked in there on was the insulin level that your body was supposed to be on? And now they're pumping you. They're saying that everybody, every human is supposed to meet this criteria right here. None of us are different there. We're all supposed to be the same. So all of our hearts go boom, 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 boom. All of our brains work this way. All of our brains do this and that and other.
Control.
Once you start giving your body excessive of something that it doesn't need, it stops producing it. So now you're going to be on an insulin shot. I'm not telling you to get off the insulin shot, but what I'm telling you is that we need to start understanding these things on our own. What's in that insulin that my body, oh, it's just insulin. Your body needs insulin. Well, why do it shutting down, blah, blah, blah. There is a natural form, and what we need to do is push. We're the masses. We're not the minorities. Now, if you split us up by community, we're the minority. Okay. But together we are the masses, and we need to start pushing them to understand more natural. If there's a leaf on a tree that I could chew on that's gonna make this better, and it makes it better right now, or a food that I could eat, then why am I eating all these over processed carbonated carbs that are already processed and already broken down so that by the time my body gets it, it's garbage.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah. Said a lot right there, sis.
You know, there's a lot that we need to start reading, turning the TVs off, going back to our communities, making sure that we're educating ourselves. There's young mothers out there that need somebody that's not just going to put them down, but uplift them. We need to learn how to uplift our communities again. We need to learn how to police our community up. We need to learn how to love ourselves and love our community so that these changes that need to be made, they need to be made now.
The time is now anyway. The time is now.
Now.
Said I won't say too much because I'm trying my best not to say.
No, I know. It's that one, it got us. It really got us.
But yes, family, we overall just wanted to put that out for you guys. Just to start here, it's just the intro of what we will be talking about in the future. So let's stop tearing each other down. Let's stop turning our noses up at one another. You are me and I am you. We are family overall. We are a community that needs to come together and build each other up. Find that love within self first so that your children can see that within you so that they can have that, see that within themselves. I love me. I value me. I cherish me. Pour into your children. It starts with you, family. It starts with you. That's all I have for this rising family. I do.
I'm thanking you, sister, for letting me get on my soapbox because it seems like the last couple of situations I have been on a soapbox. I do really give gratitude to you and your spirit for allowing me to be able to speak as freely as as I have been. It's a lot of stuff that's in there that needs to come out, and it's a lot of people in the community that need to hear it. And I really hope that this touches the people that need it and moves by the ones that don't.
Ashay, sis. It needed to be said. It needed to be said. We all need this. We're two Aquarius women in the age of Aquarius. It's time for this. It is
It's time
time.
for us to wake up. It's really time for us to stop blaming. It's time for us to stop complaining. And it's time for us to start doing.
Be consistent in doing, family. Be consistent in loving yourself. Be consistent in holding you accountable for your actions and reactions.
Big words, big words, big words.
Yes, but
Accountability.
I need to get that off my chest.
Yes,
That's,
yes,
that's all
yes.
I have for today. That's all I have. Sis, did you have anything that you want?
No, I think I spoke long enough.
Okay, well, family, we will be live again on Saturday. Come join us. Come have a chit chat with us. We can talk about building a community because we seriously been talking about building a community. Like, I'm for real. I would really love to have our own land and we all come together, put our resources together and build our community. It's time to do
Yes.
that, family.
Yes. A
So look
community of
forward.
love and understanding and positivity, not the hate and the misunderstanding and the greed. We can leave all of that outside.
All of that behind. But yes,
Yeah.
family, again, join us on our live Saturday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more episodes because we will be doing this every single week. And that is all for me and my big sis. Don't forget, find your light, then fix your crown. Bye.